Again, I can't necessarily say that I'm any better than anybody else. So this video describes it fairly. I had an issue brewing, and that issue got closer and closer and closer, and I think you hear the result. You should anyway. Nonetheless, you're giving what you see, like it even still looks like a pure gift, but from the person you're telling to consume this pure gift, and they drink this, it'll make them feel not too good, especially your constant increase in pride and self-value poisoning the gift. You're constantly adding to the pure gift. It's no longer pure because it has too much of you, and there is absolutely no God behind it. No Jesus, no God the Father, no peace, no passion, no generosity. It is all fake, false, selfish gift. Very poisonous, very toxic. No one can drink that, and it's most certainly not drinkable. In fact, I'm kind of making it really hard. I'm making my gift very difficult to drink. Now, as long as I have given them this lovely gift, but there's contempt in my gift, there's selfish pride in my gift, there's a lot of judgment in my gift. They should be happy, though, that I'm giving them a roof over their head. They should be happy that I'm giving them food on the table when they can't provide. They should be happy that I'm giving them a life free of cost and other things. And if they just did this, that they just did that. Am I saying that they themselves are not at some fault for something? No, I'm not. I am not. Both parties can equally have a problem just like this in their part of the gift. Because technically speaking, this gift is at the center. This person this is their gift, right? But then this person they want to accept it. They really do. They want to accept it. And they want to drink fully, and they want to show results for the gift being given. But they feel more akin to being the standard is put at a fleshly desire, a human desire, it's being given by a human rather than by God. Because if it was given by God, there would be no poison in it, inadvertent or not. There'd be no poison. It would be a very pure gift, very pure. In fact, it would stay pure, so pure that one of the references that I'd like to do, I got salt everywhere. Salt is everywhere. How did I manage that? I kept it inside the glass. Goodness gracious. You cannot expect to give a pure gift. Because it even looks pure. Well, no it doesn't. No longer does it look pure. I'm getting rid of it. Look. Every gift that you give needs to be without contempt, and it needs to be without judgment. It needs to be without flesh or selfish desire or selfish expectations. Guidelines. I when you give somebody a gift, I'm okay with guidelines because it shows that the other person is still willing to give while they have it. But the expectations must meet an achievable demand. So you can't say, I'll give you this if this is how much you give back. So business. But if they can't give back because they're already like overextended already, then eventually you get toxicity. Your gift comes with a price. It's not free anymore because and it's not a problem necessarily that you expect something from somebody when you give them a gift. That's not what I'm getting at. The price that I'm talking about is this right here. Is the amount of poison that's inside of it, the toxicity that comes with your gift. It's not pure anymore. If you could have kept it pure, and this is a Jesus thing. Jesus actually mentions it to the Pharisees and Sadducees about how they abuse their power and whatever, but it's slightly different. But when you give a gift, he demands that you give it willingly, without contempt, and freely, and in love. And additionally, it says elsewhere, but not really from Jesus specifically, but in the Spirit. So if you cross paths with this, you might consider John the Baptist's words. He must become greater, but in order for him to become greater, I have to become less. So I must decrease so that he can increase. So if you're trying to give somebody a gift and you want to aim it, you can aim it. No one's stopping you from aiming your gift. In fact, there's no such scripture that says you can't aim your gift. But there is, however, something that you can rely on. Some will come and they will plant a seed. Some will come and they will tend to the garden, water it. But only God can help it grow, because God's the gardener, the actual gardener. He's the one making all the calls. He's the one pruning the leaves. He's the one doing all the adjustments and the inner workings. You are just there to provide and be a support, a family member, and a loving portion of the plan. The Bible, and what I'm trying to say, is very difficult to understand with this, because in certain situations it becomes very difficult to accept that what I've said so far makes any sense, because you believe your gift is pure, and you feel that the other party doesn't actually care. They don't show that they care, so they definitely can't care, right? No. You need to keep your heart soft and open and let God work in you while he works in them. If you start getting contemptuous, if you start getting toxic and poisoning your gift without realizing that you are, you stand in the way of what God can do. There has been plenty of times when somebody has given me a gift and they say that I am just so awesome. I am so amazing, I'm inspirational and everything else, but it's like they overlook their actions. Their actions speak way louder than their words, and their actions are toxic. And they don't see it. What they see is a clear glass with their gift in it. And it's that other person's responsibility to take care of that gift and to nurture it and show that they can give result with it. Jesus gave a parable. A rich man gave 3 people some gold. And there is varying amounts. One was given 1 gold piece, 3 gold pieces, and 5 gold pieces. The one with one buried it The one with 3 invested, and the one with 5 did more than just invest, made a fortune, or something like that, or they both did. But nonetheless, the one with the 1 coin just buried it. I mean, sure, you saved that 1 gold coin, but you could have done at least something with it, right? To invest it, maybe double it a little bit, made some profit. Well, anyway, the point is where we can get distracted with literally anything that people tell us. We can get distracted quite heavily with the gifts given to us, the instructions given to us. We can get distracted on literally anything and everything. If too much is being demanded because you're unwilling to see how much is being demanded by other people, you're inadvertently incapable of seeing how affected or maybe afflicted the person you're trying to give a gift to is. They look like they're irresponsible. They look like they don't care. They look like they're taking advantage of you. And they have come to you and told you, this is the problem, this is, what I'm going through. and to you, it's all just excuses. Because to you, your gift is pure. They just want you to do something with it, right? They just want to see that their gift is being appreciated. Now, I would like to drink this water right now, but I can't. I can't take any part of this gift because it is in fact not pure. The person who gave it to me, that would be pure. It was pure then. It was most certainly pure at the time. But as time has passed, it has most certainly lost its purity, its pureness. So, me not able to drink this lovely gift or partake of this lovely gift of water makes me feel really bad because I can't show gratitude to the person who gave it to me because it's too toxic. It's got too much toxicity in it. It's no longer pure. So I can't show gratitude to the person who gave it to me anymore. It's too poisoned. It's become too poisonous to partake of. So it makes me feel bad. I can no longer show that I am grateful for the gift. No matter how much I've drunk of it, it is too poisonous to drink anymore. So when you give a gift to somebody, no matter how pure that gift is, no matter how pure you think that gift is, that person at some point will recognize that it is almost or just impossible to take that gift, saddening and depressing and just straight up wrong. They cannot, they just can't give back anything that will make you happy. They cannot give back to you to make you happy because what they're giving back to you, or trying to give back to you gratitude for, is actually poisonous. So when they're giving back to you for your gift that was at one point pure, when they give it back to you, they give it back to you poisoned. And you know what that actually means? It means that they can no longer give back to you with gratitude. They give back to you with pain. They give back to you. They may simply just take the burdens, deal with them on their own. But when they give back to you, they give back to you while they are in pain, depressed, anxious. Like, they have all these burdens. They'll even lie to you. Like, they are poisoned. They're poisoned by what you thought and what you have believed has maintained its purity. It has not been pure. It has been poisoned for some time. So all this time, when they're trying to give back to you to show that they are appreciative, it means nothing to you. Because in your eyes, you're looking at them and saying, no, you may be saying, sorry, I haven't fulfilled your wishes. Sorry, I haven't made it look like I care. And no matter how deep the apology is, no matter how incredible the return they give back to you is, it will never be satisfying. It will never satisfy a single bit. And it will never, ever complete the interest or the debt that they have gotten themselves into with you. Because all they have to give back is not a gold coin. It's not 3 gold coins. It's not 5 gold coins. It's dirt. And you don't want dirt to come back to you. You want more gold coins to come back to you. Well, you can't, because it's all poisoned. Poisonous water coming back to you once you give pure water to them. Of course you're going to be disappointed. But what's even more disappointing is that you're the one that was dirtying the water in the first place, and you didn't recognize that. And it still doesn't look like that's what's been going on. But here's the plot twist. Here's a plot twist. And this applies to even more people. And hopefully you've watched this entire video and dealt with how many times I repeated myself or lost my concentration. But here's the plot twist. You're not the only one adding poison to this pure gift. You remember those times I mentioned there's variables you don't know about? They add to the poison inside your pure gift. And what's even worse is because you don't know about that poison being added to your pure gift, that is what also increases your disappointment. That is also what adds to your content, I guess just negativity on the entire situation. Self-pride, why can't they just appreciate what I've given them and just do something with it? Stop messing around. If they just got up and did something, it would all be done. It would be over. They could enjoy life. They could appreciate everything. In fact, now your water looks like it's lemon juice or grapefruit juice. I assure you it's not. This is salt. It's going to kill you. And the people who have been giving you all these gifts, all this support these past years, still believe that's pure water. So why can't you just accept the gift of all this pure gift? Jesus should be humiliated in you. You should be humiliated. You should recognize that you've just been lazy and incapable and just ungrateful. Look at all that we have given you. Look at all the gifts, all the blessings that we have given you from every angle of that person that you've been giving gifts to. Does this look like water to you? Does this look like the gift you originally gave to them? It should, right? I mean, they still have a roof over their heads. They still have all that free food you've given them. And you've given them all the tools that you need for their life to be smooth. And so has so many other people. And this glass should be pure water, shouldn't it? Well, it most certainly isn't pure water, now is it? Because there's too many people being very negative on such a pure gift that there is no way a person could possibly drink of it and give any return back to all those people that have been so generous. The only thing they could possibly do at this point is to just push it away altogether. Just imagine this is a glass of water and it's pure. It's not given by anybody, but it's given by the person that everybody has been giving blessings to. So they gave to themselves a clean slate and started ignoring the people who have given them blessings. And that is the work of the poison. They push everybody away until this glass is filled with pure water. All because of the person doing all the work. They fill it with pure water. And you know what's even interesting? More interesting. Thank you. Honey, you forgot something. Can you please dump it out? Like, dump it out, rinse it out, that stuff? Thank you. Chop, chop. Just don't spill nothing. It'll be pretty salty if you drop it. I'll be pretty salty if you drop it. So, all that remains now is after that person pushes all of that blessing away, because it's just too poisoned. It's just too poisonous to keep around. And I gotta clean myself up, right? I'm gonna use myself as an example. So I've, over the years, again, I'm gonna use myself as an example so I can make it more right. I'm going to fill up my glass. It's all pure. And I give thanks to God for helping me fill up my glass, keeping it pure. And now that I have such a pure glass, thank you, honey. I love you. I'm hoping that with what I've collected will be good enough for everybody around me, right? The thing is all that I have to give back is just a third of what was originally given to me. Do you think that's going to satisfy everybody that's giving me gifts and give me a free ride to glory and increase in my life? No. It's not going to please anybody. In fact, because everybody is expecting a full glass of pure gifts in a return to what they gave me. None of them are going to be happy. Oh, you finally did it. You finally got yourself up and did what we've been asking you to do this entire time. They're never going to be happy. But what if I paid them off? What if I paid them off? Like gave all, like an equivalent amount of money. What if I paid them all back? You think it's going to be pure water if I paid them all back? You think that's going to be pure water? I assure you, even though I do not have the tool to provide the answer to that, the answer is no. That salty water, they're going to be insulted that I gave money back to them to pay for all of the help they once gave me. to get me off my feet and to originally have provided that small glass of water. But now that I have acquired enough to fill the glass all the way back up to that original pure gift that everybody gave me, they're still not going to be happy or satisfied. It's not going to be that clear. However, I will suggest one thing in particular. I will be satisfied to take the gift back. Because in my heart and in my mind, I was finally able to give back to those people that gave me help. I am now the only partaker of the gift once insatiable or satisfiable to a gift satisfied. God's happy with me, and I recognize that I achieved it. They are still carrying the poisoned cup of blessings, and they don't realize that they are. And they've been carrying it this entire time. Contempt is no less poisonous than over expectations. When you constantly judge a person based on what you see, instead of allowing God to be there to walk them through their trials. God was there the whole time. That's why they have this for themselves now, because you didn't accept it. You didn't accept. They finally achieved it, that small glass. And then when they went to go and pay it back to you, said, screw you. Vulgar language, right? So they kept that glass. And then with God's help, because God's the only one that still remains, you don't remain. You've given up on them a long time ago, right? That's why they pushed you away in the first place, because you actually gave up on them a long time ago, even when you were trying to still give them that pure gift. You gave up on them a long time ago. You didn't want to see the truth that they were improving to begin with. You didn't want to see them anything that God was trying to do in their life. You did not want to accept it. So, in turn, not only did God bless them with that smaller glass, finally, and making peace with themselves, and God was with them the entire time, but then He doubled their return, because you did not want to accept the return that they wanted to give back to you after having succeeded. Finally, I succeeded. But nobody wanted to accept my return, so I kept it and then doubled my return, and still only God remains. They don't remain. And now I have even more. But with all this, I go to each one of those people in the future, right? And I drink of this cup, because this cup is mine, right? I earned it, and God's been there, and He blesses it and keeps it pure for me, while I tend to it too, and I keep it pure. And I drink of this cup in front of them to ensure that it is pure, and I'm drinking of it. It's real. But you know what? They still do not accept your apologies. They do not accept your turnout. They just say, well, God bless you. I'm grateful for you. I think that I'm glad you're doing better, and I'm glad you're having a good life. No, they're not. No, they're not. Do you know why? Because they still have that mug, that ugly mug. They still have that ugly mug, and they still believe you're not thankful in any way, shape, or form, because they will not accept your apology. Even though God has proven Himself to have been with you the entire time, when they themselves, unfortunately, didn't see it or not. They were poisoned. They were too far gone, poisoned the entire time. They could not realize their folly. They did not see it. They couldn't see it. They were in no different situation, unfortunately, than Judas Iscariot. Judas Iscariot told Jesus, it is your time now. You've got it all there. The ground is ready for you. The time is right. All the variables are in place. Take your foot in the judgment seat and the throne and become the king of Israel and lead us to victory and free us from slavery. It is what you're here for, because he misunderstood God's plan and the purpose that Jesus actually had while he was here on earth. God has a purpose for you, and he has a plan for you, and not everybody will agree with it, and thus they will not see how poisoned their gift they're trying to give you becomes, because they're trying to expect something. They're trying to expect something from you, and you're not giving them their desired results. You're trying your best to work with their gift to give to God, who actually does matter. Not that they don't matter, not that their gift doesn't matter, but in terms of the truest reality, because God's the main provider, his will needs to be more than the providers, other providers. Harsh truth, but in reality, it's still true. May your will be done. Did he say, may my will be done? No, when Jesus was praying in solitude with the disciples around, the Lord's Prayer says very clearly, may your will be done. Not may my will be done. Dude, Jesus is God. Why shouldn't his will be done? But here's the thing. Who's the leading authority at the time? The leading authority at the time is God. Now, in your relationship with your family, who's the leading authority? God. Now, I know you don't believe in God. That's fine. You don't have to believe in God. I'm just saying that if you want to prosper, if we were to cut God out of this entire video, that's fine. We can do that, okay? Hear me out. The only way to prosper is to satisfy the leading authority, not those who proclaim to be the leading authority. They have superiority, but they are not the leading authority. There's a difference, and they need to recognize it just as much as you do. If the leading authority says to do something, you do it. If the superiority says to do something, but it doesn't quite fit what the leading authority says to do, ignore it, accept the damaging results that come from it, and try to push your way through it the best you can, because eventually, when all the screaming and yelling in your ears to do otherwise, when that leading authority hears it, trust me, it's not going to look good on them. It's not going to look good on them at all. But, doesn't the Bible say to honor thy mother and father? That's actually true. Do you know why it doesn't say to obey your mother and father? It does not say obey your mother and father. It says to honor your mother and father. And there is a very good reason for that. Because your mom and dad, no offense to moms and dads, I am one, okay? I'm a dad. I don't always know what's best. And I most certainly do not yield all the answers. Sometimes I'm the stupidest moron on this planet. And I make the stupidest mistakes ever. There is no freaking way I want my child to obey everything I ask them to. I want them to. But I cannot, in a good, healthy mindset, honestly believe that that's a good idea. Because at one point, I'm going to tell them to do something, and it's going to turn out to be the wrong thing for them to do. And it will be in my best interest to be very happy if they disobey me, so their life does not wind up dead. Because I told them to do something, they should have done it. But they wound up in a wreck. If they just did what you told them to do, they wouldn't have wound up in that wreck in the first place. But the thing is, you don't see the bigger picture. It is best to be grateful for what you have, to give honor to the one who is with you at all times. The leading authority is the only one that matters. The only one that matters. And if you're in business, the leading authority is one of two people. And you may think, or well, actually, even if you're in the military, the leading authority is one of two people. And the only one that cares about you more than all the other leading authorities that you think you can come up with is the one that will meet you once you're dead. Not the people that will bury you, not the people that will forget you or forsake you. Because I assure you, boss one day or parent one day, if you die, none of them matter. None of them matter. The only leading authority that I can come up with, if I took the title God out, is the one that made us in the first place. Now, even if you believe in evolution, let me point this out. Evolution demands complexity, and it demands a lot of time. Now, the longer something requires perfection, the more complex it is demanded to be and maintain. It is harder to maintain perfect evolutional change through billions of years to intricately and precisely make you infinitesimally individual, perfectly separately individual from all existence that has ever and will ever be in the universe. Now, let me give you the variable on that. I'm going to be wrong, but hear me out. 1 in 1. Sorry. The chances is a guaranteed 1 in, and this giant number comes after. And we'll use the base number 10. And you're going to add a little number, an exponent. Now that number in the exponent is, I won't be cheap and just do that infinite number sign. I'm not going to be that cheap. No, but what I will do is I will say put a 9 as the first number, and then put another 9, 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 and another 9, and another 9, and keep doing this for the rest of your life. Until either one, your hand falls off, or the pencil breaks. Either one will be just as accurate as the other, because that's how infinitely unique you are to the rest of all existence, from the beginning of it to the end of it, and repeatedly so, as I have stated one thing in particular, and I've stated this before. The universe, our solar system, we used to think that we were alone in the universe, right? Our solar, that was actually the solar system at one point. We thought that was as big as it gets. That's all there is, okay? And if we owned the world as a one world order, we would eventually find ourselves exploring space, because why constantly do war if the world is under one order, right? There's no need for war at that point. You can do the war outside in space. Well, eventually we constantly explore space, and the more we explore space from where we are, we realize that it's no longer just a solar system. We're in a galaxy, and there's another galaxy that looks like it runs exactly like our solar system does. It had a lot of orbits. And then we see another galaxy, and another, and another, and another, And then we begin to realize that it's in the billions of galaxies and billions and billions and billions of galaxies. And then we realize that all these galaxies seem to be orbiting something else. So our solar system orbits, has an orbital system. And our galaxy has an orbital system. So all these galaxies have their orbital system. We call that the universe. The universe, we may not realize this, but at the time, we think this is the only universe, right? What if there are many different universes in the same dimensional space, and we're orbiting something else that's greater? But nonetheless, it doesn't matter. At some point, the universe, the spatial expanse that we all live in, the more we come to realize that there is out there, the more we realize how small we are and how more infinitely unique we are individually as we are as a whole. We don't comprehend how important it is that in the beginning of the Bible, God said, "Let us make man in our image." Then gave us a long list of things to do. 10, really, just 10. And then he had to come and replace a poison, because he gave us a gift. And it was pure. It was pure. A very pure gift. And we stepped on it. We were ungrateful, right? Actually, it was just an accident, really. We were just doing what we thought was the right thing to do. But that's everybody that lives nowadays. We're just doing what we think is the right thing to do. And it's not intentional that we would poison that perfectly pure gift. We did that first to God. We did it to God first, okay? And I subject to everybody an opinion that the one who made the entire universe is the same one that made us uniquely, and because he's able to come and go as he pleases during each individual moment upon his will, thus not in our will or our ideas or what we feel is right, he gives as he desires and according to his will. It is then not in us and our right to spit in his face and say, "Well, I think you should have given me this instead because it would have helped me more." We've done that a few times before. We've done that throughout all of history, actually. Why not just give us a king? Just give us somebody that can rule us in your absence. Ooh. Yeah, that's a real spit in the face. Anyway, so we've been doing this for thousands and thousands of years. Or if you're an evolutionist, that's fine too. We still spit in somebody's face. Somebody created it all from the beginning. We're still spitting in whatever face that is. It doesn't matter who or what you believe. Eventually, we spat in their face because they gave us a pure gift, right? And eventually, we want to rectify that. We make up for it. And then at the end of the day, the only one who appreciates us repenting is the one that stays with us the entire time, because he realizes that we're worth it, because he died for us, right? That's why why would someone die for you if they weren't thinking that you were worth it? But that's how I treat my family. That's why I provide a house over a roof over their head, and I give them food on the table for them for free, room and board and everything for free. As much as I agree with you, and I do, I agree with you. But the more you say I, the more you realize, the more you need to realize that you forget something very important. God gave you the ability to do that. And if you don't recognize that God gave you the ability to do that, you will eventually poison the gift that you're trying to give, and you will forget to look beyond that gift as if the gift doesn't exist, because God's the one that's actually the one giving it, right? At this point. And what you'll see is a lack of appreciation. You won't see God doing the work that he wants to do while trying to get you to give freely, because he gave it to you. The Bible says to give freely, to give with a loving heart, because God once gave it to you. You can't give what, I mean, you could say, well, I earned all of this. This is what I earned. This is all of mine. I'm giving what's mine. You can't say that. And by all means, you indeed earned it. But you know that person that tried to give back to you? He earned, or she earned, all of it. And they tried to give back to you a pure glass, but it wasn't what you gave. So you didn't want to accept it because they should have done it a long time ago and made the appreciation a long time ago. So you are so poisoned, so stone-hearted, so blind that you can't see what God has finally produced. And they have actually finally succeeded. You are not willing or able to, you are not really able to appreciate, because you are too blind to see it. Because you've been so disheartened, so poisoned by the very thing you've been trying to give them, and you thought it remained pure, when in fact it did not. So please, if you're trying to give somebody something pure, if you're trying to give somebody with love, if you're trying to give to somebody with all God's traits and goodness that you get from the Beatitudes and from the commandments in which God has given you, Old Testament and New, make sure that you do it as God has intended. God is the one that gave you all of that. He gave you the ability to achieve it. He gave you the ability to thus give it. For you to call it your own was your first mistake, because that opened the door for Lucifer to poison your mind and heart and your eyes and call it yours, not God's. And because of that, the people whom you have convinced also to believe like that were also adding to the glass. It was not pure. They couldn't give back to you because they could not consume it properly. They could not properly utilize the gift. It was no longer pure enough for them to utilize it. And then when they did, or could have, and tried to give back, you were so close-hearted, you would never accept anything, not even perfection. You would have called it an absolute neutral demand rather than a fruitful return. You had already become too poisoned, too corrupt, selfishly corrupt, to receive anything that they could have given back to you from the gift that you once gave, that was once pure. And you were too poisoned, too corrupt to see the progress that they were in fact producing. No matter how many times you quote-unquote stated that you saw and understood, your actions and your responses did not agree. They did not agree, and they couldn't, because not only were you poisoned, but you were blind. So all they got left to drink is what they had to forcibly do on their own. And now you're left believing that you're still in the right. On a variety of matters, yeah. You can be right on a variety of matters. Absolutely. but not on your gift. Your gift is where you're wrong. Your gift is what's keeping you poisoned. Your gift of the past and of the present is what's keeping you stone-hearted. It's keeping you from seeing the truth, from knowing the truth, from understanding the full picture of the truth. So all they have left now is the one that stood by their side the entire time as they kept trying and kept trying and kept trying. And though everybody else denied them, God did not. So they have to keep everything for themselves. And they can't give back because no one will accept it. They can't. They cannot accept it because they are no different than the fig tree that God cursed, because they no longer can bear fruit. They can no longer see the truth. They can no longer, they're dead inside and they can't see it. They are actually blind. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't still love the person and appreciate the person and want to help them and try to start over, but that poison's still going to be there if you don't address it. And it will keep you blinded. It will keep you stone-hearted. It will keep you in disagreement with the person. It will keep you poisoned. You need to address it. At least your poisoned cup. Because apparently they've already addressed their poisoned cup. And God's been with them the entire time. That's why they have it as a clear cup. That's why they have their clear cup now. But what they don't have is they don't have you. They don't have the ability to connect with the people they tried to appreciate, tried to give appreciation to, tried to give chances to. So they're left with a void they can't fill. But they do still have what God gave them and helped them with, because finally the product of patience on their end and God's end. Same goes for continuous effort, persistence, admirable persistence and patience, and with themselves, with God, with other people that they could still associate with, including people that were just as toxic, even as inadvertent as they could be. But I challenge you, because I've got my issues all the same. In no way, shape, or form am I innocent. I don't think any of us are innocent. But please, if you've got a poison cup, you need to deal with it. You need to look at yourself and say, look, have I been trying to give this from me? Or have I really acknowledged that I'm giving something willingly in full mind and heart that I could only give if God gave it to me? Oh, but the people that would say, oh, but yes, of course I have. God gave me everything I have. What else can I give? Of course I've been giving from God and giving from myself and the idea that God gave it to me. No, I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have. But our flesh gets in the way, prevents us from really seeing the actual truth. There's a reason I don't appreciate doctors. Because they learned from a human. They were ordained by a human who never once saw all their failures, critical or not. They were just ordained by them. So their mistake they could make with you could be the fatal one. So because we humans are flawed, we cannot suggest that we are qualified as the best. With that having been said, we have skills that we can be proud of. And we know confidently, without a shadow of a doubt, I can save that person if they just let me. If they just listen to me, their problems will go away. We all have that. We do. I have many areas of expertise where I personally can tell you, if I give you instruction in that area of expertise of mine, you will have the equivalent success that I do. Absolutely. Absolutely. And every time that you do not listen, I will feel very salty, very insulted, and very hurt. And I will feel that you don't care. Absolutely. That is a human reaction. That is not a God reaction. The God reaction is, God brought me to that place where I have all those expertise in the first place. So if they don't listen to me, fine. That should be okay, truly, because you have already told them, this is how you do it. You are not the great teacher. Trust me, you can be very good at teaching. But there are so many different people out there. Thus, there are so many different ears. And here's a better way of looking at it. A hydrogen molecule has loads of potential. Loads of potential. Oxygen has lots of potential. Oxygen molecules have loads of potential. You know what also has loads of potential? Helium. Helium has loads of potential. Loads. But if you stick a helium molecule where an oxygen molecule goes, you will not like the result. Likewise, you know what you're talking about. You know exactly what you're talking about. But the person you're talking to needs to hear it crazy enough and as stupid enough. They need to hear it in a way that accepts it from an oxygen molecule, not a helium molecule. So what you need to do is just pitch in the effort of letting them know how to do something, and then just try your best to continuously negotiate. Because eventually, just as a helium molecule can bond with a hydrogen molecule, it's not going to be the same as an oxygen molecule bonding with a hydrogen. And not to mention, hydrogen requires different amounts of oxygen than a helium molecule. So just be mindful. You have the perfect advice, right? We all have the perfect advice to accomplish the same goal. However, not all of us can fulfill your advice the same as you. Not all of us can can live the same life as you. So every person that you try and teach, just remember, they are not you. Thus, eventually, just as you eventually will be forgotten, they will be forgotten. Your will be forgotten. Their will be forgotten. The best you can do is just simply try to pass your information along, your will along, your desires. You can tell them what you feel God wants them to do with their life, or you can tell them how you feel their life should go. This is a great opportunity. I think you should try it. But may God's will be done, as it is in heaven, on earth as it is in heaven, not my will. For Jesus did not even say, let my will be done. No, he says, let your will be done. May your will be done, as it is in heaven, on earth as it is in heaven. I love you all. Thank you.